Today on Bench Briefs, we're looking at a recent Supreme Court of Canada decision that dives into the delicate balance between law enforcement procedures and individuals' constitutional rights. The case of R.V. Breault, decided in April 2023, challenges us to think about when evidence gathered during a police investigation should or shouldn't be allowed in court. So, what's this case all about? At its core, R.V. Breault suit involves Mr. Breault, who found himself facing criminal charges after an incident that led police to collect evidence against him. But the twist here isn't just the charges themselves, it's about how that evidence was obtained. The Supreme Court was asked to decide whether the police followed the proper procedures and, importantly, whether Mr. Breault's rights under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms were respected during the investigation. Let's break down the facts. Mr. Breault became involved in an incident that prompted a police investigation. During that investigation, officers gathered evidence that became critical to the Crown's case. However, questions arose about the manner in which this evidence was collected. Was it done with due regard for Mr. Breault's constitutional protections? Did the police follow the rules that govern searches, seizures, and the treatment of suspects? These questions led to a legal challenge over whether the evidence should be admitted in court or excluded because of potential charter breaches. The key legal issue the Supreme Court had to consider was the admissibility of this evidence in light of possible charter violations. The Canadian Charter guarantees certain fundamental rights, including protections against unreasonable search and seizure, the right to counsel, and the right to a fair trial. If police officers fail to respect these rights during an investigation, the evidence they collect may be excluded to preserve the integrity of the justice system and to deter future misconduct. In R.V. Breault, the court had to carefully analyze whether any breaches occurred. This involved looking closely at the circumstances of the evidence gathering. Were police officers acting within the scope of their authority? Did they follow proper procedures? Did Mr. Breault's rights get compromised in a way that would make admitting the evidence unfair or harmful to the justice system's reputation? If the court found significant breaches, it would then weigh whether excluding the evidence was necessary to uphold justice. This case matters a great deal beyond just one individual's charges. It highlights the ongoing tension in criminal law between effective law enforcement and the protection of constitutional rights. On one hand, police need to be able to investigate crimes and gather evidence to hold offenders accountable. On the other hand, the justice system must ensure that this power is not abused and that individuals are treated fairly and justly under the law. The Supreme Court's decision in R.V. Breault sends an important message to police, lawyers, and judges about the standards required when collecting evidence. It reinforces that constitutional rights are not mere formalities. They are essential guarantees that safeguard fairness in the justice process. When those rights are violated, courts have a duty to consider the consequences carefully, including whether to exclude evidence to maintain public confidence in the legal system. In the end, decisions like this shape how criminal investigations are conducted across Canada, influencing training, police policies, and courtroom practices. They remind us that respecting rights and following proper procedures is not just about legal technicalities, it's about preserving the rule of law itself. Thanks for listening to this episode of Bench Briefs. Be sure to join us next time as we explore another important case shaping Canadian law. Until then, take care.